This is a remarkable new place because it's a remarkable old place. We're standing on the site of Richmond's first municipal cemetery that was designated for the burials of Black people. It's approximately 3 acres north of Broad Street, and it goes back to the earliest decades of the city of Richmond. The city of Richmond became the capital of Virginia during the American Revolution, and at a time when the civic leaders, the political leaders were all trying to figure out exactly what kind of nation this was going to be. And one of their greatest debates was around slavery. And even though Richmond's role in the larger slave trade was in many ways limited in that decade, it would come over a period of 30 to 40 years, in particular in the 19th century, it would come to be the epicenter of the domestic slave trade. Not the transatlantic trade, but the domestic slave trade. And Richmond's role will really change, and it will have such an impact on life in Richmond that we can sort of chart the history of the Black community, both free and enslaved, from those earliest years when people were trying to figure out, could this nation actually end slavery, or was it going to basically hunker down and concretize it and really make it a bedmark aspect of not only the social structure, but also certainly its economy. One of the stories we tell here, really the primary story we tell here, is the story of Gabriel's rebellion. Because Gabriel was one of a whole lot of people who realized as the 18th century was coming to a close and as the distance from the American Revolution was increasing, that their hope that slavery was maybe going to be abolished, even if it was a slow transitional process, that there was something in the air, right, about the Declaration of Independence and the debates that were going on legislatively that indicated that maybe this country was actually going to bring an end to this slave trade. So when you come here and you put your feet on this burial ground, you are putting your feet on the soil that was here when Gabriel and his friends were trying to end slavery. These were the places where Gabriel and his people made their claim for freedom and knew as they did it that they were going to be giving their lives for it. They knew that, and they accepted that. We believe the gallows where Gabriel died was here. That was 1800. This burial ground came into existence in 1799. The burial ground existed for just 16 years. There are no markers, there are no boundaries. So from the beginning, this was not a site that was treated as a site of respect for the burials of these folks. And yet at the same time, the city eventually wanted to require that Black people be buried in this site, even if they were free and had private property on which they could be buried. That there was a gallows here, certainly by 1804. And at that point, that meant that they were executing convicts here. And people in the Black community felt that that was basically a desecration of a site that was supposed to be for respectful burials. So this was a place that mattered to people, but it was also a place of concern. And when it was finally closed and a new site was opened, it was sold off as speculation property. And over the years, we had everything here. Small businesses, housing developments, there was a school up on the hill. It became part of the regular infrastructure of the city in this area. There was at least 2 streets that went through it, Broad Street and Marshall. By the time we got to the 20th century, we have the railroad going through it. We have an ironworks being built, and then eventually we have bus lines coming through. So this was not a place that was respected nor remembered. This is a space that we have now reclaimed after 200 years. This is a space that has gone from being a parking lot and to being a disregarded, completely eradicated, and what they used to refer to as a blighted landscape. This was a blighted landscape that hid the history that was so potent to understanding how Richmond came to be what it is. I learned the history, I tell the history. And to see the way that people's eyes light up when we tell them the stories has transformed me from someone who just wanted to understand this history to someone who wanted to help other people understand this history. It's connected to my own story. It's been the principal event of my life that has connected me to the entire American story, which is not something that I felt connected to at all. And I think that it will empower, I think it does empower people. I always see people changed after we talk about this place. This is a remarkable place, and you won't regret either running or walking or sitting here.